Okay, so what I'm going to do first, I'm going to do a couple different sets of notes. So this might seem like a lot, but the first one I want to do is writing linear, and I like to put under linear, I could draw a line. The word line is in linear. Linear equations from a table. Okay? Writing linear equations from a table. And I like to kind of make sure you understand what we're doing. We're going to write a linear equation. And under the linear equation, let's go ahead and just write it this way. You've seen this already. Y equals, I'm going to put something x and something here. We know them as m and b, but I don't want to mess with you too much. The equations would look like y equals 3x plus 4 or something like that. And you've seen these equations. I'm not trying to mess with you too much because we call this the m and we call this the b. You guys call that the k right now in 7th grade. So it's okay. Don't worry. We're going to be just fine. I got you covered. Here we go. So your first step in this flow map Okay, give me those 4 boxes, or 3 boxes, excuse me. And then I'm going to zoom in. Hopefully you've given me these 3 boxes, which is great. And okay. Now I'm going to give you some values in here. I'm going to use a different marker to kind of help. So it's going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to go in order. Let me zoom in. And you know this is our x value. And this will be our y's. So then this is going to be 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. All right. Now, let's go ahead and write out the first step, which is going to be, you have a table here. You're going to go ahead and find the slope. All right. So y minus y over x minus x. The thing is here, you have a lot to work with, so you can choose any numbers you want at all. I'm going to go ahead and go 0, 4, 1, 6. Okay. I'll just use the top 2. Four minus 6, 0 minus 1, I get negative 2 over negative 1, which means the slope equals positive 2. That's important. All right. Now, I'm going to go ahead and write that out. Y equals 2x. I need you guys to understand that, and I think you guys do, that the 2 goes here. All right. The 2 is their slope. This is your slope. In 8th grade, it's going to be called the m, and this is called the b. All right. No worries if you're still thinking this is the k, because you in 7th grade, it's y equals kx, and you only deal with that. In 8th grade, we deal more with the y-intercept. Now, the y-intercept in 8th grade, we deal with non-proportional. This is going to be non-proportional. All right. So what I want you to do now, I'm going to write this down the bottom. Write equation with slope and pick any in table to find y-intercept. All right, so at this time, go ahead and write all that down. And let's deal with this. So when we're writing this down, I said, and then, oh my bad, you can't see that. It says write equation with slope. I don't like the marker. It's a little chunky, and pick any point in table to find y-intercept. And I kind of tell my students to solve the riddle. So you're going to think that phrase today, solve the riddle, solve the riddle. I'm going to choose 1,6. That may not be the easiest one, but I'm going to choose it. Isn't this my x? And this is my y. And I want you to see me solve the riddle, okay? Super duper easy once you realize what's going on here. So this is an x, this is a y. And if you didn't realize, all of these points need to fit this equation perfectly. For the equation to be perfect, it needs to fit all of these points, okay? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and plug in. And how much to do? Plug in. We're going to plug in x. Is that where the 1 goes? We're going to plug that in. And we're going to plug in y. Does that make sense to you guys? We know what x and y are. They're right here in the point. And now the riddle is about to try to get solved. You can do this in your head even. Does 6 equal, right? This is 6, 2 times 1. Does 6 equal 2? No. What would make it true? Don't I have to add something? What would make it add to 6? What would make this true? It has to look like this equation. What would make this true? What if I added 4? Does 6 now equal 2 times 1 plus 4? Does 6 equal 2 plus 1, 4? Yeah, it does. So guess what? You've just found out the equation. Now, what I would do here, excuse me, since you're my honors kiddos, we're going to make sure every point does check out. Now, I say that for every kid should do this, but honors kids are more of my perfectionists. All right, x and y. And what were my coordinates again? 0, 4, 1, 6, 2, 8, 3, 10, 4, 12. Okay? I just rewrote the whole table. And then I'm going to show you how I'm going to solve it out and make sure. So for each one, when you do this step, you should be able to see what's going on. You know that you have, oops, that's a 2. All right, I'm going to zoom in. So this is the y equals 2x plus 4. Do we know our x's and y's? We do. And that's what we're going to do. We're just going to plug them in. So plugging them in. 0 is my x. Y is my 4. Does 2 times 0 is 0 plus 4? Does 4 equal 2 times 0 plus 4? Yep. What about this one? 1 goes here. 6 goes here. Remember, this is your x and your y. We already did this one. We know it checks out. 2 and 8. 2 goes here. What's 2 times 2? 4 plus 4 equals 8. It checks out. What about 3 and 10? 3 times 2 is 6 plus 4. 6 plus 4 is 10. Does 10 equal 10? And then what about 4 and 12? 2 times 4 is 8. 8 plus 4 equals 12. It all checks out, okay? So that's important to find out, to make sure. And you wouldn't do this every time, but if you really were not sure, check your answer. All right. Check answer with other points. Okay. Check your answer with other points. All right. Now, you see these points here. I'm going to show you another resource you guys already know, but I don't know if you've really used it much. The Desmos graphing, actually graphing it. So as I open this, I want you to see the equation again was 2x plus 4. Look at your notes. Y equals 2x plus 4. And you're pretty good at graphing, which is great. All right, there's your line. There's your line. Okay. Ooh, I have a little pen here I can use. Now, let's see. If I was to look at this, 2x plus 4, what's the first coordinate we had? 0, 4. Is that our y-intercept? That's our y-intercept, right? What's another point we have? 1, 6. Over 1, up 6. Is that a point? Interesting. All right, let's use a different color. All right, what's another point on the graph? And you guys know I'm looking at the graph, or the table, I mean. 2, 8. Let's look at 2, 8. Over 2, up 8. Hey, that's on the graph too. All right, another one, and you obviously see the connection here. 3, 10. All of these points are on this line. 3, 10. There we go. All those points are on the line. So you know that that is perfect for the equation. Cool. Okay. On the bottom, I want to make you guys do a little practice one for me. Using your notes, you can still do that. Do I have to give you more than 2 points? Nope. I can just give you 2 points. I'm making this up on the fly, so let's make sure we're good. 1, 5, 2, 8. All right. Go ahead and try to figure out this by turning this eventually into an equation. Go for it, guys. Okay, so hopefully you were able to do 1 and 5. You read it out again. 2, 8. I know we're good with slope. We know how to find slope. 5 minus 8, 1 minus 2. Negative 3 over negative 1, which equals positive 3. 3 goes here. All right, that part's not difficult. The part you learned today was plugging in. What are we going to plug in? Let's plug in 1 and 5. All right? If 1 goes here, 5 goes here. Does 5 equal 3 times 1? Does 5 equal 3? Nope. Only when you add 2. And there's your equation. Solve the riddle, guys. Solve the riddle. Great job.